desire is a funny thing. Desire is really just a movement of thought. So you can be sitting in complete stillness, and all of a sudden there is a hunger feeling inside the body. If no desire arises to or from that hunger, for example, there is hunger in the body, then the desire arises to satiate the hunger. If you don't respond to that desire, you will starve. Like if you fully just ignore that impulse of the body's hunger, you will starve slowly. You're entering into fasting, and then if you still don't respond to the desire of the body to eat, you'll starve. So that's desire. But then there are other desires, like I want to become a millionaire, and so I then chase after that and go down a whole life road to go and try to fulfill that desire. Maybe I would, another level of the illusion on top of that would be that would make you happy, and that's how you find meaning and purpose. That's super duper complex. We're not really going to that level at the moment in this discussion. Like, we're not considering how many layers of illusion and delusion there are in that. There are loads. So we talk about simplifying desire. If you desire to tune into stillness and you desire to really begin to cultivate stillness, it's wise to live a very simple life with very simple desires. The simpler your life is, and the less desires you follow. So there's multiple levels to it. The less desires that you follow will train the brain to have less desires. If you have a brain that's constantly desiring things out of habit, then you retrain it by having little desire. Mm-hmm. But it'll still try to deviate. You just have to ignore the impulse of the brain trying to send you off down a certain path. After a while, your brain will begin to focus on the very simple desires of your immediate environment. Like when you wake up in the morning, you want to make sure that the food is being defrosted for dinner. If you don't want to do that, you won't do it. You won't follow that desire. That's a simple desire, and one that a community needs. You want to go outside and make sure that the little environment, the physical space that you live in, is clean and kept clean. That's a desire, but it's a very simple desire. You want to check in with your neighbor. Is there anything you need? How are you going? You want to take care of that person. That's a desire, but it's a very simple desire. It's also a very pure one. So there's lots of different manifestations of desire. The question is, what's the question?
Well, how do we prioritize our desires?
Work with the needs of the body, essentially. Start with the body, the needs of the body, food, shelter. You have a practice that you believe, I suppose. Maybe you don't yet know, but for now you have faith in the practice that you're doing, which is going to continue to cultivate awakening in your life. It's going to generate mystical experience, and it's going to strengthen your contact with awareness, okay? So prioritize your desires around that cultivation, mm-hmm. those disciplines. Mm-hmm. At the same time, serve your community, the immediate people in need around you, and they're doing the same for you. So you're all taking care of each other. It's really very simple. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs shelter. Everybody needs clean drinking water. We all come together to train at a certain time, but you have to want to do that, feed that desire. That's a great desire to have.
Yeah.
You desire to meditate. You desire to tap into very deep states of mind in deep meditation, which really does require a lot of focus. So you desire to cultivate that kind of focus. That's how you prioritize your desires. You turn your desire towards your spiritual objectives. Get really strong there, get really good there. And that process will teach you about the nature of desire. You can have desires for other people, but you can also have desires for your own gain, mm-hmm. your own self-centered gain, which has nothing to do with the community, has nothing to do with other people around you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you see it a lot in the modern world with regards to spiritual awakening. You gain insight into, or rather, you have experience of some kind in spiritual, in your meditation or in your life or in your spiritual inquiry. And then all of a sudden, you want to turn it into a business and you want to make money from it. Nobody asked you to do that. Nobody came to you asking for help. and suggested or requested that you start a business teaching everybody about what you know. Nobody asked you to do that. You came up with that yourself. That's a self-centered objective that you have, not you, because you don't have that.
No, I understand.
But a person who might, you see it all the time, how people, this egotistical corruption of greed gets hold of the spiritual process and tries to profit from it, not realizing that actually your only objective in true spirituality is to continue to cultivate your own awakening and learn to live very simply with little desire. Because when you have little desire, it's very, very easy to maintain a very relaxed, intimate relationship with the now on a very deep level, one where you can learn to abide in very deep states of mind in which your mystical experiences just continue to flourish, and your literal energy and your literal power expands and deepens, and you become more of a force for the energy of life to flow through, as opposed to you. So the ego is called a thief, as opposed to the identity, the ego, grabbing hold of the power of awakening and saying, now I want to do something with this and I want to profit from it. It steals the energy of life, the energy of awakening, and then tries to turn it into something that's self-centered, in an attempt to create, to materialize its own profit and its own gain from that. Whereas actually to continually awaken, to continually deepen in spirituality means to continually release that self-centered principle, to abandon it and open up more, your energy and mind open up more into life, so that the literal force of life, the energy of God, if you want to call it God, the energy of life itself, can flow through you more powerfully and more intimately to reach more elements of the world that you're in, the people, the beings, the consciousness here. So the vessel that you inhabit becomes more open to that energy flowing through. But when the ego tries to get hold of that energy and identifies with it, it steals that and tries to then turn that awakening for its own self-centered objectives. So you have to abandon yourself, keep abandoning yourself. I think I may have gone a bit too deep there.
Well, you call it a thief, but you've also called it a thief before in that it steals your own time from you as well. So if you're following your desires, you're not abiding in the moment. So it's stealing your time from you.
Right, which is really energy. It's the same thing. When I say stealing your energy, that means your time, the energy of your life. You have a certain amount of time in a body, which means you have a certain amount of energy to apply to this process of awakening, to this process of spiritual cultivation, which is not really for you. It starts out, you think it's about your own awakening, but actually, as you get out of the way, the energy that awakens flows through you more and into the world, into the human race and the earth, 2024, at this particular time in human evolution. And so if you continually get out of the way, you then become a kind of a glove on the hand of reality, which is being used to help introduce the evolution of consciousness, cultivate the evolution of consciousness here. But you can't grasp hold of it as the glove. You can't grasp hold of the hand. Do you understand? For the glove to think that it's in control is insanity.
Right, yes.
The hand is in control. The hand is awareness. So the job of pure cultivation is continue to expand mind awareness on the daily, and strengthen and deepen your ability to maintain the right view or the right perspective through your day, which is why deep cultivation becomes very silent, very intimately personal, and very, very present, and less deviation into modern economical means of personal gain and personal profit. That's the domain of the ego. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear that.
No.
They really don't.